Inman.com released an article today about Airbnb and how they have been able to turn around their profits from 2021 being in debt and not making profit to 2022, where they increased their profits up 40%. So in 2022, they made $1.9 billion in profits with revenue of $8.4 billion. And the article really highlights how they were able to increase their profits. And a lot of people have had questions or concerns of whether or not the Airbnb market would sustain throughout a recession, sustain through the interest rate hikes. So this is really interesting to see, especially if you are an Airbnb owner or if you have interest in buying an Airbnb property. So what the CEO and the manager really talked about was how they focused on the guest experience and the profitability. And I think that's the key there, was the profitability for the end user. They noticed that the average nightly rates throughout the country had dropped from 156 to 153. Sounds minuscule, but across the nation, it clearly shows that the nightly rates was dropping. That means that the guests were less likely to spend as much as they used to. And I know just based on the hype and the surge and the sexiness of owning an Airbnb really exploded over the pandemic because a lot of people were trying to get out of their homes. And that was a great time for people to be buying properties, especially investment properties. So we did see a lot more Airbnb properties come onto the market, and we saw the nightly rates go up. And it was almost very bullish in markets that are very heavy on Airbnb. So coming down from that and really hitting the market where we just were, where the rates skyrocketed up to 7.5 or so, that reduced the amount of people that were really going out and spending the large amounts of money on Airbnb nightly rates. And the recession certainly didn't help that either. So Airbnb, they noticed that and they used it as a smart strategy for themselves to increase their profits and recover from their losses in 2021. Now, like I said, they focused on the profit, they focused on the nightly rate, the cost for the guests, which means that they really had to highlight and advertise more of the homes that were cheaper for the guests. And then by doing so, that reduced the average nightly rates for most zip codes that have Airbnbs in that zip code. So that means for us as investors, as homeowners that are renting out our properties, it means that we need to pay attention to what we're trying to get for nightly rates. But it also means that now that Airbnb is having success and has proven that they can sustain through a recession and sustain through the interest rate hikes, people are still buying investment properties and people are still booking Airbnbs, and they want a great experience and they want to get it for a decent enough price. So that means that Airbnb owners just need to be mindful of how much they're going to charge, and it means that it is a good time to own an Airbnb. And if you have any experience, I would love to hear about your experience with Airbnbs. And if you have any questions about investing in Airbnbs, I would love to chat about that. As an Airbnb owner myself in a beach community, it's something that I'm very passionate about. Hope this information was helpful, as investing in real estate is always something I'm passionate about. It's something that I think everyone should at least consider if it's right for them. And that's where you need to figure out if Airbnb investing is the right vehicle for you.